April. It's all about rural. It's all about you. Rural America. Its vast, empty space. Its mountains, rivers, deserts. Its cornfields, wheat fields, cattle ranches. Its big sky, stunning sunsets, and wicked weather. It's miles and miles of mile markers on roads that disappear ahead into the horizon. It's railroad tracks running alongside highways, rivers snaking across the countryside. It's no road signs, no signs of life through landscape that resembles the moon. It's small towns and villages full of people who are larger than life in spirit and love for the land. Rural America is the heart and soul of the country. The year was 1986. The month was April. The place was Houston, Texas. 10 people, all of whom were CIL directors, had gathered together under the auspices of the Independent Living Research Utilization Project, better known as ILRU. The independent living movement was relatively new and still considered a special demonstration project in government circles. The whole concept of people with disabilities running their own programs was a skeptical one at best. Many were waiting for the idea to fail or fade away, but instead, a revolution was brewing, and it was in that environment of empowered change that this group came together to talk about how rural CILs were faring. They came from places like Moscow, Idaho, Marshall, Minnesota, Missoula, Montana, Viburnum, Missouri, Crockett, Texas, Hays, Kansas, Eureka, California, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Morgantown, West Virginia, Fall River, Massachusetts. These men and women spent 2.5 days learning, sharing, commiserating, and becoming fast friends. They didn't have all the answers, didn't even know all the questions, but one thing they knew for certain: they didn't want the dialogue to end there. They all agreed the rural independent living people needed to be connected and were committed to make it happen. 20 years later, those 10 have scattered. Most of the organizations they represented are still joined together, along with another 200 or so through their association with April. One of those founding directors of the Association of Programs for Rural Independent Living has endured through the past 2 decades. Linda Gonzalez.
Wow, 20 years ago in Houston, Texas. If anybody would have told me that today I would still be a part of April and that I would be the executive director of this national organization, I wouldn't have believed him. You know, I had no idea that I could take on such a responsibility. But it's been so rewarding. Been a lot of work, but it has been so rewarding to see the people that have joined us. You know, there were 10 or 12 of us around that table, and today we are, there's 300 people at this conference, over 300 people at the conference, and there are over 230 some members of April. So, you know, we have grown and we are continuing to grow. It's my hope that we will grow into a formidable force in rural America. In fact, I like our motto, which is the united voice of independent living in rural America. Because, you know, when you get out there into rural America, you see that people with disabilities are still, you know, in the greater community are an invisible quantity. You know, people don't recognize them. They don't understand that we're not just a problem or part of a problem, that we have so much to contribute and that we really are solution-oriented. My hopes for April are that that we become not only a force within rural communities, but at the national level, that the government legislatures, you know about us and are willing to work with us. I think independent living is such a valuable service that's out there that can empower and has empowered so many people.
April is all about rural, and through the years, it has added valuable resources to the field of rural independent living. It's all about the people who make up its membership, those who have served on its board, received its services, honors, and awards. It is those faithful ones who return every year to the annual conference.
I think April has been a strong force in the independent living movement in bringing those who are most disenfranchised and most isolated into the fold or the flock or whatever you want to call us, of being empowered. And yet, you know, there's so many people still out there that aren't touched. There's so many counties around the country that are that don't have any access to independent living services yet.
April is proud to be celebrating 20 years to life. We fully intend to keep going and keep growing. It's our members, our colleagues, our supporters, our sponsors that will see to it that April continues to be the united voice of independent living in rural America.
April! April! April!
April!
April!
April!
April!
April!
20 years to life! 20 years to life!
20 years to life!
20 years to life!
20 years to life! 20 years to life!
Celebrating 20 years to life!
We're committed!
We're committed!
We're committed.
We're committed!
We're committed!
We're committed!
Are you?
How about you?
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
April. It's all about rural. It's all about you.